Hi all, good afternoon. This is Saif here from Smithy Technologies, and today we would be seeing SQL interviews, queries for ETL developers, data engineers like data engineers, data analysts, also BI developers. Let's start with the second interview query. Now, this is the scenario which we need to achieve. If you see, write a SQL query to get the below mentioned output from the data below. There is an input and there is an output. So this is the input provided to us and we need to achieve this output. If you see my previous SQL interview query, so it was exactly vice versa of it. Now if you see, these are the columns which needs to be converted into rows, and this is the data which need to get iterated into rows. Earlier it was rows to columns. Now this scenario is column to rows. I have my DDL prepared over here. Let's copy this and go to the SQL developer. Let's execute this. Table 2 is created. Let's go a little bit bottom and copy the DML statements. Paste this and execute this. Query has been completed. Let's see the data in my table. Scenario second. So this is the data which is in columns. So I need to convert it in rows. If you see my previous video, there were a couple of methods which I have implemented, case method and pivot method. We do not have uncase method, luckily, unfortunately, whatever you could say. But yes, we do have unpivot. So I would be achieving this with unpivot method. Let's see. To now, if you are not sure about pivot and unpivot method, there are a couple of things which we need to identify the column which needs to get either converted into rows or columns. So the identification is columns, and the second thing is aggregation is required in case of pivot columns, whereas in unpivot we do not. Okay, so column we need to identify. So I know math, science, English, these are the columns which will be getting converted in rows. So this would be converted as rows. Let's achieve this with unpivot method. Select all from my table name is scenario underscore 2. Let's do unpivot of the table. Okay, so my student number which would be iterating. Then for subject in, let's iterate the, so this would be maths as maths. Let me run only a single one. Let's see if it is giving. Okay, column ambiguously defined. Okay, so this should have been marks because marks would be getting iterated over this subject in maths. Let me run this. Okay, I'm getting the output. Let me copy this and paste it over here and paste it over here. Small changes which I need to do. This is, so the second column would be science. I think my insert is pressed. Let me press that. And the spelling is also wrong. Let me correct that as well. Science as science. Okay, this is pretty messed up. This should not be there. This should not be there. And the third thing is English. Let's copy this and copy it over here. This should give you the result which we are expecting. That's it. Bingo. So if you see, we are doing unpivot of my columns which are maths, science and English. Those would be getting pivoted in subject and the marks. So this was the data which we wanted. So if you see, this was my input and this is the output. And if you see, this is sorted by order number. Yes, we are getting the sorted data 111 and 22. So that looks fine. So this is the second scenario when we are converting columns to rows. Thank you for watching this scenario, and do watch for my upcoming tutorials. Thank you.